Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justintimeaccessories. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy, serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back. Yes, welcome back to another episode of ATL Family and Friends. I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown from The Anthony Brown Show. And again, welcome. I'm joined tonight by none other than my family, my tribe, my peeps, my Judys, my Sarahs, my dudes, my dogs, whatever you want to call them, but I can't do this without them. And without them, there'd be no me. Hey. So I'm joined tonight by none other than the very beautiful, the very lovely, the very gorgeous, my sister, Tyson's mama, Tayama Sweetness.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
What's up, gorgeous?
Nothing much.
Okay. Hey.
I'm right here by your house.
Yes.
Uh,
Where's Tyson?
Say hey, Tata.
Tyson.
Let me tell y'all, my son had this interview at this academy. It's like a whatever little people school like thing. When I tell you, I am so proud that this is my son. That thing, everything that lady asked him, he was ready. All body parts, 11 different colors, rearranging his ABCs in his right order. The lady say, and he's potty trained. Yes, girl, what you mean? But he got accepted.
I hear him in the background.
I know, right? He up now. He wasn't paying me no mind.
Well, listen,
This whole ride.
I'm also joined tonight by none other than my. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you.
It is freezing in Florida, y'all. It's freezing.
Ladies and gentlemen, by none other than my. Hold on, Tama. I'm also joined by my little, but yet big brother, none other than Mr. Shawty Doo-Wop. You know what I'm saying? Ladies love him. The girls adore him. He's a new farmer in the Dale on the West Coast. None other than Legacy the Great.
Everybody, what it do? ATL.
I see that celebrity. I see that celebrity status with all those fights.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta spice it up as much as you can when you can. Because you'll never know when you can again.
Those are like those same lights you be using for your OnlyFans.
What's the page name, Tony? Tell it. What's your OnlyFans page,
You ain't telling me you got
Legacy?
OnlyFans, you're making almost an extra $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
He ain't tell me that one. You can share the money,
Got a
Legacy.
camera in the bathroom while you be taking showers. See, Legacy really ain't got to work,
You have to
y'all.
go. You have to go on Pornhub and it's ass eating.
Back in the days when he was in college, back in the days when he was in college, he used to strip. He was King Dangalang.
Tell that man you was getting your education. You wasn't
Oh,
doing all of that.
none of it. Wasn't doing none of it. I wasn't doing none of that. What Tony is trying to imply.
You stand in front of the camera to us some.
That way, them hurricanes and tsunamis was coming in.
I'm telling you, between you and Juicy, I tell you, y'all sending them waves back and forth. She was sending them from.
Hey Tony, you know what? Lately
Okay,
you've been having my
look, we're
lately you've been having my old internet. You've been messing up.
You was messing up too, so I don't know if it's my internet or what. I gotta check with my IT guy, Junior.
Yeah,
listen,
it could be.
I can't.
Hey, hold on right quick, Tony. It could be that you might have too many devices that's connected to your internet.
I'll have him look into that. I'll suggest that to him. Listen, we got one other person we got to bring on the show, and that's the other person that you with the tidal waves and her with the synopsis. Between the two of y'all, I'm telling y'all was sending all kind of earthquakes and weather disasters back and forth. I mean, she got the juiciest cakes when she stand up, boy, and she go to flexing and the things go to. I tell you, we got none other than the very proud, the very beautiful, the lovely Miss Juicy Cakes.
You are a mess.
Tony,
Hey,
you see, she ain't denied either, did she?
Hello, everybody.
She can't deny it. The truth is the truth. Blessing.
How are you all?
Look, Tayama got it too, but she got it up top.
I'm freezing. That's how I'm doing. Freezing.
Look, Tayama got it up
She
top.
say it's cold.
I'm finna go find me a big old Reuben stutter. I need a big dude. No skinny dudes. No skinny dudes. Don't call me. You gotta be big.
Tony, why you look like you coming in on Juicy?
What you mean? Huh?
What
I ain't see that.
Your background was coming in behind Juicy.
His internet is glitching.
He got too many devices connected to his internet service.
It was doing that a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
before
last
we
week.
even got on the show too.
Hold on. I'm gonna play a video while I talk my IT. Hold on.
If someone offends me or someone hurts me or does something to me, it rolls off my shoulders pretty easy. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, will you forgive me for what I did to you? I'm gonna forgive him and say, girl, come on, let's move on. It's all right. I'm wired that way. I'm easygoing. But if I find out, I'm saying don't get it twisted. If I find out that someone's been scheming, that's a whole different story. Because scheming implies pre-planning. If you've been scheming against me, that means you've been watching for a little while. You've been trying to figure out what it is about me that is most weak, most frail, most vulnerable so that you can take advantage of me. You've been studying me to find out what my patterns are and what the predilection of my flesh is and what my preferences are so that you can figure out the best time to take most full advantage of me and the people that I love. When I find out that you've been scheming against me and the people that I love, well, if it's a war you want, it's a war you gonna have.
That's me,
Yes,
baby.
yes, yes. DP, are you with me?
I am here. DP is here.
Hey, DP, how are you?
I'm doing great,
DP.
Juice Cakes. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yes. You came,
Say Yama
came in on our.
Legacy, what's up? And the crew ATB.
So I felt like that inspiration to open the show.
I definitely loved it.
Listen,
I definitely loved it.
We needed that, Tony.
Yes, I found them every now and then.
Hey, Tony, I got something I'm glad all of us here today, other than late Jose.
excuse me.
But I just wanted to bring to the panel's attention and see how they feel about do you know that I don't think he belonged to nobody. But Biden signed a bill that gave all of the immigrants that just came into the United States illegally free housing, free internet, free food. Well, meaning they're gonna get subsidy with food stamp, and he passed a bill that gave them once they sign up for $3,000 a month for the next 2 years. They're now emptying out all the homeless shelters. They're emptying out schools that private schools. They're paying for those kids to go to somewhere else, but they're housing the migrants into these private schools and are giving them $3,000 a month for 2
So
years.
how long do we have to leave the country before we can come back as an immigrant?
I don't know about that. If you black, you can forget it.
I mean, I got pretty
Do I
hair.
need to
I
call
can swim over.
Adrian?
And yet we
Say what?
as a black community, we supported Biden.
They did.
Speak for yourself. I said
They-
I got pretty hair. I can swim over. I could like go out, jump off the boat, and swim a ways back.
They're not
You don't
giving it
think
to
I'll
you.
pass?
They're not giving it to you. But it was just mind blowing to read that, and they just tried to pass a bill that the Republicans killed that was gonna be. I just got finished watching the video on it today, where they were trying to make it a bill that, and then they were trying to sneak in the bill where Texas and no other state could ever try to come and defy the rules of what the federal government have set. You couldn't challenge, the state couldn't challenge the authority of the federal government. And it's like I tell y'all that this is the most important time of the year when bills get passed are when people are going through New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, because most people even in the House and the Senate and Congress, are not there. So if it's only 80 people there, those 80 people vote on that bill. So if it goes on the way of the Republican side, that's how the bill go. If it went and it was so just to say that it was late in the year, like the 24th of December, that bill would have gotten passed.
Mm.
And it just bothers me because as I ponder on this stuff all the time, every day, it's not a day that go by. I look around and I look at black people, I look at American people, I'm just looking. And it's funny that we going about our day-to-day lives and it look like don't nobody know shit, don't nobody give a shit, and ain't nobody strategizing or trying to say, hey, we need to come together. I'm not saying that we don't have people that are saying it, but there are no political people, there's no black activists, there's no white activists that are saying, hey, it's time for the American people to start meeting up, gathering, and pushing forward into finding out why are these people doing these things that are got homeless people that are veterans that are out here on the street, been backed up for years trying to get assistance from the what is called, Juicy, when the when you go to the Veterans Hospital, VA,
VA hospital.
that have been backed up for years trying to get assistance. And they say, you got to hold on, we backed up at least 2-3 years before we can even get to you. You can get the application in, but it's going to at least take us about 2 years to get funding for it and also to be able to get to you. These immigrants have come across this border and our government have opened up billfolds that we didn't even know was that was even possible to get money from, and are now housing these people and giving them $3,000 a month. Oh, and they say while they wait on work, they can also now go and file for unemployment and they'll be given unemployment. So this is why I say when we on this social media thing streaming and bullshitting, these are the things that we need to be looking for. We don't need to be looking for T.I. and him and Tiny getting caught up in some jam shit. We need to be finding shit that's relevant and talk about this shit on this podcast. Because to those that we can reach, we need to reach on a daily basis, especially when we have this 2-hour window to talk and talk about something that matters and not shit that don't matter all the time.
Say that again.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I agree.
And a lot of things that matter most is self. And so what we do for ourselves and how we take care of ourselves matter too. So I think we should talk about that too. You know, all that you speak on about what's going on and what bills are being passed, it's like they're already passed, not being passed. Those are already in place, right?
No, these are the ones that they're bringing before the Congress and Senate and the Senate and asking, they have to vote on them. And the Republicans,
these are coming up.
Right. These are and the crazy thing about it is when you talk about that, Kate, is these bills don't come to the American people and say, what do y'all think about the bill? Do y'all want us to pass it? Do y'all want us to oppose it?
You know how those bills used to come to the American people? They used to come by way of tweet by a person who people really thought was against them. But he would tweet the craziness that was being brought to the floor.
Donald Trump.
And then he would get the reaction of the people. And the people would they would see, oh, this is how the people feel, and that would switch real quick. But see, now that they got him out of there and they're not allowing him to expose, or no one is exposing, you got to go to the website. It's visible. All you got to do is go on the website. I'm driving. I can't look it up. Maybe you could put it in the group chat, Tony. Legacy, you can send it to him. But say no to Legacy the Great. Don't vote for Legacy the Great. Huh?
Jose, you crazy. Jose, you crazy. You gonna be the #1 voter.
For real. But on the floor, it tells you what's gonna be on the floor for that day, the time, who's gonna be talking about it, and you can watch it. What we gotta learn is how do we stop it? How do we, the people, while it's being even presented, what do we need to do to get this not to even go forward
Well, I
to that?
can tell you, Kate, what has to happen. There has to be what is called a reform. You can vote for Juicy too. I vote for Juicy too. Go ahead, D.
President tried to actually tell the people about reforms, and they ignored them. The media put Trump on headline news like he was killing the American people.
Yep.
Yep.
And you know what, Donovan and Juicy, Tony, and T, I remember a year before Donald Trump got left office. I remember, matter of fact, I remember three separate occasions when we were upset with those two black women who was up there gallivanting and speaking on the behalf of Trump. And the media for like 18 months tried to drag Donald Trump in the media before he even became the president. And I'm one of the people, I didn't even know nothing negative about him, but because how the media is ran and the propaganda that they're allowed to spew, especially, and people don't be looking at, but they target nothing but emotions from black people, and they especially attack the emotional side of women, black and white, when it pertains to Donald Trump. Because that's why this was the first time in history I ever saw where they allowed someone to talk about where Donald Trump said he liked to grab him by the pussy. The whole word came out that I like to grab him by the pussy. Now, for me, I have to ask myself, all the times y'all say Donald Trump grabbed him by the pussy, I never seen a report of any woman who went and filed a report on him grabbing some pussy. So, to me, it wasn't no worse than Bill Clinton getting head in the White House. And everybody loved Bill Clinton, and he got his dick sucked in the White House while his wife was in the next room. From as society call her, the bottom feeder. He left a well educated attorney in Hillary to slide over to the room to get head from the secretary. And everybody still cared about him. And him and his wife, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and all these Democrats that had all this great power in the early 90s, put reform to create lengthier time sentences for blacks pertaining to drug crime. And we still say that Bill Clinton is the first black president before Barack Obama. So my thing is, Trump was just a voice at that time.
He did exactly what black people do. Act like
nigga
crabs
shit
in a barrel. Exactly.
Hold on, Deborah. They didn't report Trump because he paid them off. So again, but you don't know that. You just talking about Starry, whatever the prostitute trick who got paid for taking some dick.
Yeah, that's speculation.
Yeah, Trump, you just talking. You don't have no facts on that.
No facts.
And guess where you got that information from? You got that from the propaganda media.
Propaganda.
No, she said she know. Deborah said she know because she was one of them.
Oh Lord, come on! She need to come on the show.
Well, guess what? If she was one of them, he didn't do nothing wrong because you took money. If she was one, and I'm pretty sure you wasn't, Miss Hall, but if you were one of them, I don't want to hear nothing from you because what he did was paid you. So that means that if you took some money, you wasn't afraid of him. You just want some more money and willing to give us some more pussy. You ain't, girl, sit down, Miss Hall.
Our people are so compromised, I'm telling you.
But listen, Tony, but being serious, right? I just want to say that right there, and not talking about Miss Hall because she could be joking and we having a good time, but that right there is what I'm talking about. That's what happens because we don't understand that nobody is guilty until they're guilty.
Right.
So you can't tell me that I come up to somebody who wronged me and told them, listen, I got you dead to the right. If you don't give me $20 million, I'm gonna expose you. And they pay me the $20 million and I blow it, and then all of a sudden I come back asking for more. Guess what? You got paid. So it wasn't that what I did to you was atrocious. You just broke again.
Right.
You just trying to resell your pussy again.
You know, what really exposed the media legacy too?
Say what, Donovan?
What really exposed the media and the corporate it's the establishment, not the elites. The elites are normally Republicans. The establishment are the ones that are democratic, demonic, devilish. So when they had that case where they brought up Jean Carroll, where Trump allegedly, well, this is alleged, that Trump still he blasphemed, or what is it, defamed her, slandered, or whatever it's called, defamation of character, and slandered. She won that case of $63 million. Okay, now I'm like this. Okay, $63 million. She's almost close to end of life. That's crazy how they're playing this game of money. It's really a money game, not so much more whether it's truth or false. It's just a money game, really. They're playing the get back attitude.
But listen, D, listen to me. Let's just think a little logical, right? If Trump sexually assaulted anyone and has been found guilty of those crimes, do you think this man will be the leading candidate from the Republican Party? For the Republican Party,
he wouldn't, because they would all come against him with money.
Exactly.
Listen, this is nothing but a God flow of showing people who's really behind the author of confusion. Okay. They look at how many presidential candidates are being knocked out of this race. Okay. And look how many presidential, even Ron Santos couldn't even beat Trump. That's real. Ron DeSantis, I'm sorry, you all.
We know what you're talking about.
Which shows you that politics has been compromised for a long time, and they just put in enough a round of people to try to get Trump out. And really what it happened is they found out the real truth and backed out and started putting their support behind Trump.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like I think her name Nikki Haley.
Yeah. Nikki, is she still in?
Yeah, she's the person behind that's running against Trump right now, but she's being embarrassed all across the internet. But this is my thing. These people, and I'm sorry to say this, I've never had the opportunity to say this in life, or did I think I would see it. But this is the first time I've ever seen the Democratic Party so afraid that they are doing and revealing their hands so easily on how they're doing. You're doing
their hands everywhere.
Yeah, they're doing nothing but a smear campaign that people are now. This is the thing, D. Once the American people really get hold to the understanding that the migrants or the immigrants who just crossed the border have been afforded these $3,000 a month for 2 years and free housing and all of that, and all these people been on waiting lists and stuff like that. This is what is going to break the straw that breaks the camel's back, because now that's definitely going to, or it should, I'm not going to say it will, it should pull the black voters away from the Democratic Party. But we'll see.
Now, let me ask you
If we open
this,
our eyes.
why, in your opinion, do you feel that that would draw away the black voters?
Because for one,
Because we're losing.
you have so many individuals right now. You can go on all sites and look for waiting lists for housing programs in the United States, and each state. They're over in almost each state, almost 100,000 people looking for housing.
But Legacy, the key word you said, gotta go look.
Right. And that goes back to
These
what
people
Donovan is.
are so comfortable with where they at to where they won't even look up the simplest stuff to make their life better. They have
Yep.
come, what is the word? They have come complacent and
Yep.
very comfortable with
Yep.
where they are.
Entitled.
They
Entitled.
say the number one thing, if you want to keep black people,
Put it in
put it
book.
in a book.
Put it in writing.
Like, you have people that don't even want to take the time to figure out what is new, what is out there. So that they ain't got to worry about. They know that for sure.
That's the point I was making to you, because I'm thinking, if when it comes time to vote, if we as a people, we as black people, are not reading and not researching and not looking up information when it comes time to vote, we still don't know that they've given this to the immigrants and not us as a black people. So guess what? However
But when
way we was going to
when
vote
I make
before,
that
we're still going
statement,
to vote that way.
when we make that statement right there, Tony, on for this instance right now, when we make that statement, we're making the statement not as of just for black people. We're talking about Americans,
Yeah,
period.
I'm
The
getting it.
majority of people on housing and food stamps are white people. True, Barack Obama exposed that. But truth be told is when I'm talking about this and you talking about it, everybody on this panel talking about, we're talking about whether it's black, white, Hispanic or not. If you've been here, most immigrants vote Republican. That right there, I cannot agree with Ms. Hall, because now if you're saying Asians, yes. If you're saying Italians, yes. Or you talking about but Hispanics, no. And the reason that I know this is because I've worked on so many campaigns, Tony has as well, where I'm in the fields going to these doors. And it's always been when I'm going into the because I mostly help the Democratic Party. So I get an opportunity to see these individuals, and mostly all Hispanics. And me and Tony can tell you, we see lists with thousands of people on daily. And Tony's in the office and I'm in the field. He prints up the paperwork, I go out in the field. And most Hispanics vote Democrat. You know why? Because most Hispanics live in the hood. Not saying all, but the majority lives in the hood. So they're definitely Democrats. And like I say, I just don't want to hog up the time, but it just hurt because for the first time in a long time, I've never seen it to where it's like my eyes are opening, and that's not true. I register people to vote for a living to get to see them.
If you
I do
notice,
too.
there's a lot of dead people that vote every year, you all, okay?
Yes.
Just to throw that out there. And most of the ballots are coming from Democratic states.
I want to point out something real quick before we move too far ahead. I want to piggyback on what Legacy said. He said that when we're out there, working for these companies during the election time, during campaign seasons, Tony worked in the office and Legacy worked in the fields. House nigga, field nigga. I just wanted to point that out.
I make sure the people do what they're supposed to do in the field, boss.
I want to give you all a teaser of what I've done. Okay, I have been the political director of my local party, my local Republican Party. Okay, and part of myself was responsible for making sure I can get information out to our fellow Republicans. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. I was just making sure the birds were just listening to me. Okay, all right. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I did get to work a Trump rally right in front where all the operations and scenes were going on. And you'd be amazed how many blacks are in there more than whites supporting Trump in the back because of what he stands for and not what the media has really pushed. The media likes to push a lot of things. Of course, we got to stand on the things that we know is true, not so much more what the media has compromised and validated. Okay?
And it's just that, Donovan. We gotta get to a point in time when we as African Americans have to get off of the point of when people, especially the news, all the news push for when it's pertaining to blacks and their votes is racism, racism, racism. That's their go-to because they know that going to the race card ignites black people to to anger, and once we anger, most lose logic, most lose sight, and and like Tayama say, if you're not educated on if you don't even know your local politicians, how the hell are you gonna make an informative decision on picking the president other than what you're getting from in the news?
Let me tell you, half of the people you walking around don't know not damn thing that's going on around them. Nothing. So you feel like you talking about a whole nother country when you talking to people that's right here sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
They be like, "What you mean? What you talking about?" When they did that, that's the only thing that's been on the news every day,
Girl, I was watching The Bold and the Beautiful.
bro.
I ain't even know.
Hey, it's crazy. Yes, baby.
As I heard one of our young people saying, Mommy, okay, I just believe that our next generation are going to be screaming for their parents if we don't start doing something right now. Because our
Donovan,
government, yes,
my brother, you should have said that about at least 10 years earlier because our kids are been hollering for their mama and daddy. That's why they out there getting slaughtered every day. That's why they killing each other every day because they done created rules and policies that allow people to do what they want to do. Now, let me show you something. Ms. Hall just said that's why democracy is great because you have a freedom of choice. That's bullshit. You ain't had freedom of choice on a goddamn thing,
our
man.
freedoms have been compromised, Miss Deborah.
Exactly. Ms. Hall,
Our
you're
freedoms
wrong.
are compromised, and it's because the elderly have actually the elderly has actually compromised our belief system. Okay, they have stuck in their own traditions instead of getting out of tradition and actually looking at facts. You know, my grandma said something to me before she passed away. My great grandma in 2008, she passed away. She said, "There's something about that man that just don't like." And at the time, I didn't know what she was meaning because I was watching the TV too. Because she used to get newspapers and watch news. You know, it wasn't even in 2007, 2006. It wasn't known as me being 15, 14, 13. I'm not telling my age, y'all. But it wasn't known to actually just pick up a phone and watch things. It was known to get those news and watch the news. And my great grandmother said, "Hey, there's something wrong with that man. I can't get with him." And I was wondering what she meant by that. But now I realize what she meant by that for all the years that I saw. And I'm talking about former President Barack Obama, okay? When you're not right, you're just not right. We can't keep on justifying anything wrong, okay? All right. They said that I heard from few black people, well, they didn't give that man a chance. They ain't going to give a brother a chance. Man, no, he compromised and violated all of our rights, okay? And you're right. The proper education. You know what? When I see Louis Farrakhan put his support behind President Trump, that's all I can say, y'all. Okay. When I see Snoop Dogg um, put his support around behind Trump, that's what I would say. Okay, let's read this from Brother Carl, Brother Carl, Brother Carl, Brother Carl. A proper education is needed. Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro, the father of Black History Day.
Well, I'm gonna say this, brother Charles, brother Carl. Let me say this. I agree with you that education is definitely needed, but if it's the education through the indoctrination of the school system and it is not properly given to the real history of America and the real education, then all you're gonna do is continually play in the cycle of indoctrination. Because the education that America gives is watered down and is only geared to uplifting white folks. So let's not say an education. If you're not going to give a real education and it's about everything, the good and the bad, the real and the fake, and be able to call out the individuals, whether it's white, black, blue, green, or yellow, then the rest of this, what you talking about getting education, is bullshit. Because you can have all the education you want and still not succeed in America. So let's not say it's about the education, because we damn sure are not getting educated properly. And the same education, proper FS 103. What?
But with that legacy, you have to, with anything in life, someone can only give you so much. You got to go that extra mile to want to give yourself the rest.
I agree. I definitely agree, because for where I'm at now, compared to coming through the school system, I was just as brainwashed as everybody else.
But Tiama and Legacy, and Brother Carl is my cousin, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, I want to ask this question. You said, study to show thyself, and Carl says, know thyself, and Tiama says, in order to have proper education,
teach thyself.
Tiama says, you got to go out and search and find other stuff that's not being given to you. Once again, how do you know there's other stuff that's not being given to you? Is first of all, and second of all,
let me tell you, your brain. The number one thing they tell you, your brain is supposed to always be hungry.
Hold on.
You should never stay in one spot and be okay with being there. So if you're willing to explore, you're gonna know something is not all there.
We gotta remember.
Hold on, let me finish the question. And the second part of the question is, sometimes you want to hold on to the lie because it's comfortable. And I'm going to give you an example. Like in religion, so many of us would rather believe on what the pastor is saying instead of searching and studying the word for thyself to find out the truth. Because if you find out the truth, then you'll later find out that grandmama was a liar, daddy was a liar, great grandmama was a liar. But it's not that they was a liar; they was fed the lie too, and they shared it with their child. That child shared it with the next child. That child shared it with you. So everybody was fed a lie. It's not that they knew it was a lie or they intentionally lied. So now, if you go study and seek for truth and find the truth, now you gotta look at your mama and say, "Mama, you was wrong all along. Grandma, you was wrong all along."
And once you do that right there, bro, you become an outcast.
All I know is any and every book you even touch, including the Bible, it tells you to seek. Yeah. So if everything is telling you to search, to look, to find, and you're too lazy to where you just go by what someone tell you, my mom always told me be a leader and not a follower. So basically, if you tell me something, I don't research it for myself, I deserve whatever the hell is coming to me. Because I was
But
dumb
listen,
enough to be
Facts.
led.
listen, brother
Yeah, I want to.
Carl. Oh, go
I,
ahead, Donald. Go ahead.
I would like to add on. The Bible says, and this is principle if you can use it naturally. Like Tayama said, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open unto you. Not, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open unto you. What else is
It
that?
says,
Oh, okay.
um, first seek
And
the kingdom. Like
yeah,
it's so many
and
things in the Bible that it tells you yourself. Go seek
yeah,
it. Go
and
find it. Go after it.
oh
No,
yeah,
never once
and
did he
here
say, listen to the doctrines from him. He that
and
comes to me. Like,
let him
I
ask
don't
of me.
understand.
Let
And
him
that's
ask
That's
of
why
that's
me, and
why
I
last
will
week,
give him.
and that's
I will
exactly
give it to
why
him freely. And
and that's
there's a
exactly
scripture
why he
that
say
says, my people are destroyed because of the lack of knowledge. So when you are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, that means you need to run to knowledge because knowledge is freedom and freedom is power and power is it can control a people, a population. Okay? That's why we need to put on our whole armor and fight against some of the demonic activity and demonic forces that our government is pushing. The moment they said, get the COVID vaccine, I said no because politics was pushing it. Not medical, not science.
Hmm.
Politics was pushing it. Now, what they did is they covered it up saying that science was saying it because they knew that we weren't about to take it, okay? And unfortunately, black churches started teaching that and started putting scripture with teaching with COVID vaccines by saying you all need to be wise, take the vaccine so you won't die. Like, I'm not taking that vaccine. My church never did teach it and preach it.
last week, Tony, I answered that question that you're asking today. And I said, and even going back to the scripture, it says, be still. First off, in order for you to find out what you don't know and what you need to know, is you need to be able to take time to be still and listen to yourself because your body, everything that you need to heal is in you. And it's even in the mind to tell you what you need to heal. It takes you to want it. Self-care is the best care. And we keep talking about going to these doctors and they ask you, they probe you, how do you feel today, and tell me what's going on, and you tell them everything that's going on, and then they take your information and go research it and come back and say, well, this is what the books say. You could do the same thing.
Hmm.
And at that point, when you're doing that same thing through meditation and prayer, you asking, what did God say? And God gonna give you the answer. Everything you need to know and what to do is in you, and it's going to come to you. A change of mind and a change of everything. It's not just what you eat, it's what you feed your mind, your body, your soul, your environment. It's all a
But let
matter
me tell you,
and works together.
Jude, that's true. But us as like American people, it has no color line with what I'm saying. Our own government set us up to be this way, to be lazy,
Oh yes,
to
I know
be
that.
blinded to it. It's so many generations in that it's not even halfway funny.
Tune into Enliven Your Way to Wellness.
Like,
That whole page is dedicated to how to heal the pineal gland and fight against the different things that are attacking us as people, not color, but people, from the different attacks that we have psychologically throughout going out the day, going to work, going to school, in the air we breathe, the water we shower in, to brush our teeth. It just has little information to tell you and what you can do to help you. It ain't nothing to say, do this and this the cause. It just give you ideas. And what worked for
hmm
you, make it work.
I mean, I hear you, DeAndre. Um, it's just crazy. And I was watching the other day where these folks are now filtrating sewage water and running it through this new machine DeAndre say he's surprised they haven't charged us to breathe air. They working on it. They working on it. Yeah, they're
But
getting
they
ready
do.
to. They're getting ready right now. I forgot the name of the machine, but it's a machine that every sewage system, power to the people, black power check. But now they're trying to now take like the water we use to flush the toilet and all of that. That water now is they got a machine that actually cleans the water, supposed to purify the water, and then run it back through another machine so that that water can then be utilized for us to shower, drink, and everything. And they're supposed to be purified water. We talking about all the toilets where shit, piss, all of that. They're saying they're now taking that water that's running through, purifying it, and running it back into our systems. So, I mean, we got to just look at it and know that, you know, whoever is lobbying, whatever big company is pushing money behind our cities to get these things done, the same machine is used on cruise ships. Yeah, to poison us. Exactly. They're definitely working on and it goes back to the Bill and Melinda Gates theory of when they said that there's too many people populating the earth. And people don't sit around, they don't even listen to when people say that foolishness. But these folks do feel like, but they stealing the land. Land been sold. They ain't just stealing no land. That shit been sold and gone for many years. They ain't doing no stealing. It's been stolen.
You don't get no mineral rights.
And exactly, Juicy, you right. You got, when you do buy property, most people don't even read the thing. It tells you if later on we find minerals up under the ground or gold, you don't have rights to that. You don't have rights to that. Even if you own the land, you don't have rights to it. Well, stop letting them come over here.
We tried to build a wall. They tried to build a wall.
We can talk, Tony. Let's because this is depressing. The Indians been here way before us. That is not that right. That statement there is also not true as well. About the Indians were here before us. Black people been in America. You got black Indians.
Who is an Indian? It's not a matter of black Indians. They are who they are. They're all the same. It's indigenous people, the people who are here first.
Okay, well, I can definitely roll with indigenous people, but let's not just give it over to the Indians because that wasn't even a word in the beginning.
All Indians, just what we would call coons and cuz and niggas.
I got this on a different note. Just a slightly change the subject on a different note. Check this out. Here's a video. Tiamas has a skit. Whether it's a skit or not, we're looking at the message. And that's what we're going to talk about, the message behind the skit. We showed a video a while back where a young man flew a young lady into his town or to his state or whatever. And of course, he was expecting sexual favors, and it didn't go down. So we talked about that. Well, here's a similar video, same subject matter, but in reverse. Check this out.
So how would y'all feel if
don't do that.
y'all
Come on,
flew?
you really put out your phone, though?
Because how would y'all feel if y'all flew a dude out?
Wow.
Spent $2,300 for his plane ticket, and he don't even want to fuck.
Right, like listen. I didn't come here to have sex with you.
Look at this.
I appreciate you flying me out, but listen, I don't just have sex with people on the first day.
Okay, but it's been a few hours. Like, we didn't watch movies, we Netflix and chill.
Vibe out, get to know each other more.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to vibe out. Like,
come on, man.
Who just want to sit and with a dude
Like, you
Nick,
made me
I'm
wish
trying
I
to
never
get
got on the
lifted.
freaking plane, bro. Are you serious? Like, you really tripping
I'm
about
trying
that?
I didn't spend my money for nothing.
I'm saying, like, why are you trying to, like, come at me because I don't want to have sex with you? You
Because,
should be happy.
like, what's your problem?
You should
Like,
be
is it
happy I
little?
don't want to have sex with you. What you mean it's little? Like, no, listen.
Are you
I
ashamed?
don't
Like,
have
it's
sex with
okay.
people
Like,
by
I
the
don't
way.
mind. I didn't have little.
Wow, that's what I'm saying. Your ass tripping, bro. Like, don't do that to me. Seriously,
That's
don't.
weird.
Don't
Like,
do that to me. Like,
don't.
for real, I ain't had to come out here. I thought we was gonna get to know each other, maybe go on a nice little date, but you tripping about sex. That's wild to me.
Go
bro.
on a date.
That's all you thinking about, man. You made me wish I never
I need to
came
know
out
what
here.
that like before I even go on a date. Like,
wow, listen. How about this? How about I get your money back?
I'm not finna play with you.
really-
Like, you want me to
listen.
go on a date, spend all this, waste my time, and I get up in here and you're probably little.
How
Like,
about I get your money back? Because I'm not finna go back and forth about
get
sex,
my money
though.
back. Why didn't you just
I'm
pay
saying
for your
I'll cash
ticket
that you
then?
back because I thought you said you wanted to fly me out. All right.
And I did.
All right. So how about this? I'm gonna cash up your money back. All right. And you do that shit with somebody else because you're not finna make me.
Give me my money, Steven.
I'm sorry. That was sad.
DeAndre said fly him out there. Send him away and fly him out there. DeAndre is a man whore.
No, that was the sad story.
But
I'm
you know
sorry
what?
that they're going through relationship problems.
So people
what did
actually.
the internet say?
So it's all right for black people to prostitute, but white people can't do it?
So women actually fly men out. I know men traditionally was more known that men fly women out. Do women actually fly men out and expect sexual favors?
Yes.
Is that a thing have women lowered their standards and their values and who they are as queens and and princesses?
Sit down somewhere with that bullshit. Just sit down somewhere with that bullshit.
To paying for trips, to paying for dinner dates, to paying for flights, hotels, and giving up pussy.
Please sit down with that bullshit ass narrative.
Is that what society has become?
Just sit down with that narrative.
I think society been like that. I think that everybody pay to do something if they want something. It ain't tricking if you got it. That's what Lil Wayne said years ago. So I think again, like we said before,
because you're doing it for them.
But like we said before, that should have been spoke about. The communication there should have been already had. She should have known what she was getting, and he should have known what was expected. So she shouldn't have been surprised. They need ain't no way you spending all that money and it ain't even know you coming to do that. Now if he got there and he saw her and changed his mind, that's a different thing.
I think, like I was telling Tiama earlier in conversation, like I was telling Tiama earlier in conversation. First of all, that's a conversation that should have been had prior to him even getting a ticket, or showing up at the doorstep.
Yep. Ain't no
but
way.
this is the thing right here, right? Let's look at that scenario of she flew him out and everything, right? Let's say he got in the room and that's where he goes straight to trying to get it. But in her mind, she was saying, hey, I just wanted you to come hang out. I ain't trying to do all that. The world would have reviewed that man as a dog, a whore, a hound, disrespectful, and everything. Because in his mind, even though, like y'all say, that must have wasn't talked about in the beginning, and for some people, see, for me, that would have automatically mean you already know I'm finna stretch you out a little bit. That's what that would have, for you to want me to come that far, you already know that I'm in your guts and you finna squirt. That's what you already know. If that's not even happening, and I'm talking about it in the process of me leading up to getting there. Because what's not going to happen is I'm not going to waste my time and not nut 3 or 4 times while I'm there.
But see, that's what she wanted. Now, the thing of it is like even on the last video, this girl was a little different. I don't see her saying canceling his return flight, driving, giving him a lift in Uber, putting him out and blasting him on the internet. That was what he did wrong. He had his expectations. She didn't live up to it, and he tried to clown her for it. Now, right here, she asking people why. Like she to me making a kind of a fool of herself, but she also letting it be known this is what I wanted, and he ain't coming. He ain't hold up.
Because what you mean he didn't hold up? If he didn't know that, that's what he needed to do.
That's what I feel. I agree with you. That should have been spoke about ahead of time.
Right.
So, and at the same time,
but the crazy
saying,
thing
I'll
is,
give you your money back.
But the
She
crazy
should have
thing,
took
Cake,
her
is
money and shut up.
the underlying thing is this, Cake. It is perceived that every man know that if a woman invites you to a hotel, you are mentally already known. So what he's scared, it has nothing to do with being scared. Why is it, DeAndre, if a man chooses not to participate in sexual activities, he got to have a little thing or he's scared? He may have self-respect for himself and don't want to just prostitute and become somebody's side piece of meat. He may just want to say no. You may want to be able to be okay with that, saying that you'll fuck anything as long as they call you and tell you to get it. Brother Carl say, miseducation. What do you powerful human beings do for God and our people? We've already moved on, Brother Carl.
Oh shit. I don't know, piece of Hellcat.
And then then in order, you could tell she was triggered because she went to one of the greatest devices that women use when they are mad and want to shame a person. She didn't say per se, you got a little thing. She said, what is it? Is your thing little? I've had a little penis before anyway. Even though this man not one time disrespected her or said anything derogative about her, why did she have to go to, is his penis probably small?
So what she should have said, what? Do I stink? I mean,
He never got it, so he don't know if it stank.
Right. So she trying to figure out what it is that he changing his mind about.
But but it's not that he changed, because he said that that's not his plan. That was not his plan to come to do. He said he come to hang out, go.
Their conversation before he got on that plane, if he wasn't telling her, I'm a respectful gentleman and I'm holding out, I don't do nothing on the first date, for her not to have this thought that she wasted her time and money. He done talked about something. She talking about, I wanted to get picked up.
She said she wanted to get lifted.
Lifted. Okay, well, I took that as up in the air.
No, it does mean that, Kate.
Okay,
it does mean that.
So that means he done talked about some shit that he do, and he done got her sized up. Nah.
Let me ask y'all a real question. Let me ask you a real question, because I know I done it. Let's say back in the day, we have phones where we could see each other and all of this shit before. So sometime when back in the days, 80s, early 90s, when we did our fall in love stuff without meeting the person over the phone, we done talk 3 months, 2 months, and now we go meet this person for the first time, and this person looked like a battle axe truck. We done fell in love with the voice, but the face does not match or body match with what we thought it was gonna be. I have come to a woman's house before, and she talking about she outside, and I see her, and I ride on by as if and never told her what car I'm driving, and kept going, and ain't never answered no goddamn phone no more. If you was born in 60s, 70s, 80s, you done it. What that
comment say?
What got good deals over? We got good deals over here. We ain't talking about tricking and prostitution. You talking about not the battle axe truck. Listen. we have all and just like you say, Kate, his mind. But I'm not gonna even go with that because we're in technology times where we can FaceTime each other. It ain't that he didn't see what he was getting, because I'm pretty sure he FaceTimed that they don't seen each other. But just like a woman has a right without any reason to change her mind with sleeping with a man,
he do have a right, and that's why I said when she should have got her money back and kept it moving.
And kept it moving.
Have a good day.
Because even if she was in a wheelchair, DeAndre would have, all she had to do was take DeAndre Brown, and he would have went where she at and fucked the blind, crazy, and crippled.
Broke off. He would have fucked her so good the lashes would have been fucked up.
And what's his man's name?
His name DeAndre Brown.
Where I found him at?
Well, you ain't either one of those.
I mean, I was just the thought what you said.
DeAndre said, "Why is he tripping? He's not tripping. If they had a conversation prior to him coming to her state, prior to him getting on that plane, prior to him, flying out, if their conversation was, hey, I'm coming to see you at your state. I'm gonna spend a weekend with you. You paying for it, blah blah blah. You paying for the hotel. The trip expenses is on you. We're gonna have a nice time. We're gonna go out and eat, have a dinner and a movie, Netflix and chill, and blah 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 blah. And sex conversation never came up. Why should she be expecting sex? Just like you're saying, to me, it's all about communication. If you're not specific in your conversation, don't assume that I'm reading your mind and knowing what you're thinking or what your intentions are. We grown. Say what you mean what you say. Hey, when you come here this weekend, I plan on fucking. And I just want to fuck Friday night when you get here, Saturday morning, right after breakfast, dinner time.
Get it right.
Sunday morning before you get back on the flight, going back home. So we're gonna fuck at least 4 times. You eat booty like groceries.
Yeah.
A conversation need to be had. So at that point, then you can say, well, don't spend your money because that's not what I'm coming for. I just want to, watch a few movies. I just want to hold your hands and walk on the beach. I just want to. No, that wasn't her expectations. So that should have been said and implemented and conversated prior to she spending her money.
Yep.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Who should have initiated that conversation?
Whoever won it.
That's bullshit.
Either one of them.
Listen, let me show you something, right? If I'm the person that ain't had no thought about sex, it's not, DeAndre say, must have been a first class plane ticket for $2,300. I don't know, D.
No,
if I'm the person,
that's bullshit. If I want something from you, I need to initiate the conversation because it's what I want. That's not
exactly.
That's what it's supposed to be.
So the person who is paying for the ticket needs to let it be known what their agenda is.
That's why I said he didn't
she being horny has nothing. DeAndre, but she being horny, look at the logic, and she being horny has nothing to do with him. That's the same thing with rape. Because the man is horny and she not horny, doesn't give him the right to fuck her. No, that's rape.
That's rape.
That's rape. So the fact that she horny, they ain't got nothing to do with him. Y'all had a conversation before he flew out there, before he spent your money. So if you spent your money and then he showed up and then you said, damn, he fine as hell. He more than I thought he was, or he looked better in person. Oh, my pussy wet, let's do this. No, baby, that wasn't the plan. The plan doesn't change because you see me now and now you're horny. No, the plan is the plan.
Right. See, but in Mr. Brown's mind, he's thinking from primitive. Kevin Gates, that's that ass.
If they had
He's
a
thinking
plan
primitive.
and she
Listen, he's thinking. Go back to the last one, Tony. That sounds boring. That may be boring to you because that's what you might want to do is cam everything that is around you. But for somebody who has their mindset on I want to know a person and they're and not rushing into sex is not boring to them. That's just like me.
But
Hold on.
let me ask you this question, DeAndre. You say you'll be grateful for her for spending her bread. But what if you got there and one, the pussy stink, two, she won your type, three,
He's
she didn't
still
look
fucking.
like
He's still gonna fuck.
So simply because she spent money, you owe her some debt. Make it make sense, please. Somebody make it make sense.
Tony, that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see.
Listen, y'all.
Listen, this is what I'm trying to get you to see.
I did not
Go ahead, Kate.
I did not realize that DeAndre was a person commenting. So I've been driving and haven't been reading, and it just clicked when I was like, where he. I'm just playing, y'all. DeAndre, I'm just playing.
Listen, this is why I was saying. This is why I was saying earlier, Kate and Tony. When it's about a woman coming to visit a man, in most societies' eyes, that woman is generally just coming to get to know him and to hang out. Right. That's how it's looked. Even if a woman comes to a man's house at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, she is not looked upon to be coming to have sex. She's looking to come to hang out and give you company. If sex happens, then he says, but you wouldn't know it stank if you ain't see it or smell.
False. I used to work in the money center at Walmart for years, and I would have customers come to my counter, and if their pussy was stank, sometimes I smelt it, and they fully dressed up there trying to cash a check. I smell your pussy. Girl, you need to go home and douche. So you ain't got to be naked for me to smell your pussy.
No, do not give out that false hope.
I knew that you were gonna say that. Now what? But Tony, now listen. I would have said you want to talk or chat. We can do that on Messenger. Again, you're constantly making yourself look like a thirst bucket.
A man whore.
He's a thirst bucket. He don't understand that you can be around a woman and it doesn't always have to be sex. But listen, Tony, when a man, listen now. Kay, hold on, baby. Listen, when a man comes to a woman's house at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, if a man gets there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, a woman called him over, she said, come over. It's already implied that he is to come do some plumbing. If that man gets over there and go and get in the bed and just go to sleep, trust me, he's being talked about. If a woman wanted to fly me somewhere and she tells me, I just want you to get out here and we just go enjoy each other's time, blah, 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 I'm going out there with that mindset. But I also know that in that time, this is the reason she wants to be around me, is because if I'm there for 3 or 4 days and she's around me for those 3 to 4 days, I know how to work my way up to getting sex before I leave. But it's not mandatory because in the beginning, we never talked about that. But opportunity presents itself because I have 4 days to get her to want to give me herself. So I don't have to go out there with the expectations of fucking, but I also know that in the presence and company of the great one, I'm gonna bet on me. And I don't have to force that. I don't have to expect that.
Okay, yes, DeAndre, they don't have to fly you out there to get to know you, but sometimes you do, because you can't get to know a person. If I'm dating a person and they're in another state or another country or another town, you don't know that person's true intentions until you're with them. It's like the old saying, you don't know a person until you live with them.
Yeah.
I didn't know my nephew until he moved with me.
Right.
It's a lot about you I didn't until you moved in. So I'm saying, so she don't know him until they're spending quality time together. So if they're trying to build a relationship, I can't build a relationship over the phone, over FaceTime, or on an email or a text. No, we got to spend quality time together to see if we're compatible.
Tony, let me show you something, Tony. Prime example, right? In the clubs, well, he came out there and can't give me cause I hand washed the other. One, I guess he's saying one hand washed the other. If you was her, he's deader than a doorknob. Okay, listen, Tony. No food, no drinks. The man got his own money. That's why he was ready to refund her money.
He got his own coins.
See, that's the thing about a boss, whether it's a woman or a man. The rule is to never go anywhere. I don't give a damn if it's to Dale Ray with riding with somebody. Your job is to make sure that you got you in case something happened where you can get yourself back home. So he came prepared. But Tony, it's done been many times I done been in the clubs and see these beautiful, fine women, and I gotta have one. Well, he should have.
It doesn't matter where they meet, DeAndre. Whether it's halfway, guess what? She still would have been horny. Whether it was at my house, she still would have been horny. Her house, if we were met somewhere at Disney World and stayed at a hotel, the place doesn't matter. It's the mindset.
Correct.
That's what I'm trying to get you to realize. If we are going to meet and we're meeting under the pretense that we're going to meet and only date, get to know each other, the place doesn't matter.
Because my mindset is still, I'm not having sex.
I'm not having sex. But as a man, I'm going to take my condoms just in case.
Just in case.
So the Bible says, be ye ready. So I'm ready.
Just in case.
Just in case. But that's not my mindset.
But Tony, listen.
Because me as a grown man, sex ain't something I gotta have. Young men think that way, that damn, every time I get in front of a bitch face, I gotta add a notch to my belt by fucking every hoe I'm with. That's not true. See, when you grown, pussy ain't an issue. It's only an issue when you're in your 20s and 30s.
See, but this is the thing, Tony. And I realized this. When you used to getting pussy, it ain't something that you already know. If I put my mind to getting a woman and getting sex, I could do it.
Right.
Only people who ain't used to being and getting women and getting men, those are the people that this becomes I gotta have for. Because as many women that have been to their houses, in the club, they look beautiful, they look clean, they look fine. And I get over there to their house and got to go pee. And it's a black ring around their whole entire tub.
That's a turnoff.
I get in their house, you can't even get in the bathroom and wash your hand because they got hair all in the drain, shit from doing their hair, getting ready to go to the club everywhere. Go in the room, this motherfucker got clothes piled up in the corner. One section for panties, one section for dirty clothes, and I gotta go. I don't give a damn how fine she is, how pretty she is, you're nasty. And I got a right to change my mind.
And washing that ass don't get rid of STDs. Soap ain't never killed a bacteria.
And douche does not either. So please remember, do not try that.
You can wash that ass, it smell good, look good, but still deadly.
Well, get what? Mr. Brown gonna give it a try anyway. Cause I'm here. Let's move on, bro. We halfway.
Hold on. I see.
Hi, Miss Johnson. It won't solve the problem. Well, some good yone. So,
I mean, if you want, you can use some yogurt. Depending on what's going on, you can put some garlic up in there.
Wow.
You know what? You know, people love to say condoms, right? And that is the best way to go. But the best way to
99.9% chance to go. The best way to
but
go
the,
is
but the
no
best
go.
way to go
Is no go.
is making sure you can see blood work before you even think about doing that. And then, because most of the time people get caught up in the heat of the moment, people get caught up in passion. And a lot of times when you get caught up in that moment, for some reason, it don't register to ask, do you got a condom? Or do you got prophylactics to protect yourself? We just interact and hoping that, you know, things right. So for me, there's nothing wrong with a person asking another person that they're interested in, hey, you know, I like you. I think we're gonna get to know each other a lot better. Do you mind us both going to the health department to get tested? Because I need to see the reaction from the person. If the person tells me why we gotta be all in my personal business, you right, baby, we ain't got to. There's no need for, and I ain't gonna even tell you, there ain't no need for us to even call no more, because that's a done deal. Because I think anybody who is sexually attracted to one another should have a problem with get passion or heat. Your ass gonna be dead playing around. That's a chance. That's a chance. Most people take that chance though. Russian roulette is a real live game. What we got next, bro?
Okay, I had two other videos. The first one is called Black and Beautiful Means. Let's see what it means.
Black and beautiful means nothing unless you're black and powerful. Let's just get that straight. You cannot be black and proud and niggas too, okay? That white folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night, right? Because whole brothers and sisters is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. Louis Vuitton winning, Nike is winning, Gucci is winning, Armani is winning. You ain't winning. We are the consumption class. They are the merchant class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And all the statistics tell us this. The Institute of Policy Studies, April 2017, the Economic State of Black America said, and I give you the final quote from that 300-page study, which no Negro read, that by 2053, 10 years after the majority becomes the minority, if nothing changes among African Americans, household median wealth will be 0. In effect, we will have worked our way into a second slavery. Try to operate in a market-based economy and a democratic capitalistic society without money. Let's see how that works for you. And ain't nobody fixing us but us. White people are not fixing black people. It's been 400 years and we ain't fixed. We're not even thinking about black people. And I'm not hating on white people. I'm just telling the truth. You know who white people are thinking about? They're thinking about white people. They're thinking about their wives, their children, their communities, their schools, their businesses, and your pockets. That's what they're thinking about.
What? He said a mouthful.
I saw that a while ago, and I thought it was a very clear and understandable statement that he made.
He spoke the truth.
Yep.
He did not lie. He said a mouthful.
You know, it's almost like, I remember about 2 years ago when they did the blackface thing, and I remember T.I. was on social media, talking about let's boycott Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, Gucci, and all of this. And I watched it go on for about 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks of irate anger, everybody went back to the norm. And I've come to understand.
They went back to the norm from boycotting them to buying it.
Right. Because one thing black and white people know this, Asian people know this too. Black people don't feel that they have arrived unless they have people who do not want them wearing their shit wearing it. It's as if they're trying to insult the people who are producing this material for them saying, hey, we don't want y'all wearing it. Now we have to go out and show them you can't stop me. Nigga, you just showed them that they have become richer. Because when you going in this establishment and spending all of your money, you haven't hurt them by coming and purchasing their items. They did that as a ploy so that you get your dumb ass up in here and spend your money and try to show me that you can't buy my stuff because I told you I don't want you to. We're the only race of people that walk around here trying to be accepted and don't feel valued if another race of people don't accept us in their group. You can like I told you before, we could create our own Oscar type of thing and host nothing but great black actors and actresses, music and everything. And we showed it before when BET was BET Black. BET, when the black man owned BET, was the most watched televised show throughout history. And we had the biggest and best award ceremony to where our numbers over exceeded the Oscar numbers in attendance and being viewed. But guess what we do? We still do not, from actresses and actors, they've been told that you haven't made it until you win an Oscar. You haven't made it until you win a Tony. You haven't made it until you win what's another an Emmy award. You haven't made it, but these were things that were assigned by white society as successful. But guess what most people don't know, Tony? Do you know where they got the name the Oscar Awards from?
Where's that from?
The Oscar Awards came from a black man at the time he was trying to go and becoming a film director and things like that. But he also was a writer. He also wrote movies and stuff. So when they approached him about this movie, this writing for a movie that he had, he didn't have a problem with the movie people paying him for the movie, but they also didn't want him to participate in playing in the movie, being a part of the movie, nor did they want him to help with directing the movie. So he rescinded the rights from them being able to do that movie. And he got together with some other people, black people that had some money, and they produced that movie. And it was so great that it became, and his name was Oscar. And that's why it's called the Oscar, because of that black man. And it's crazy because I didn't know, I learned this last year, but I was waiting for a moment like this to talk about it. The Oscar Awards is based off of a black man. Go look it up.
I mean, everything is pretty much based off of a black person.
Yes.
And by the way, happy Black History Month.
Hey.
Oh, I ain't celebrating that shit. Every day is Black History Month to a great one like me.
I mean, I feel you, but you know, for our viewers that do, and for everyone else other than you.
Dream like Martin, lead like Harriet, fight like Malcolm, think like Garvey, build like Madam C.J. Walker, speak like Frederick Douglass, educate like W.E.B. Du Bois, challenge like Rosa, which she didn't, someone did it before her, and whatever the other one at the bottom, I can't see it. Because if it's anything about Obama, it's bullshit.
Inspired like Obama. Well, hold up. Bring that back. And get enlivened with Juicy.
That one I can roll with. I can roll with that one. ATL.
You know, I've enjoyed this talk with you all. I refrain from really getting deep into engaging because a lot of the topic, you know, I hold dear to my heart on how we need to rise up as people, stop associating ourselves with this color because we are not a part of the crayon, the pencil stick, or the magic markers. You are somebody. You matter. Yes, you too, Tony. Don't be looking at me like that.
But listen, Kate, I'm okay with, listen, I understand and I'm okay with black. Let me explain why.
With it I'm okay with it just the same as like you saying nigga to your friend, but somebody else can't. The part that's not okay is when we identify and connect with it on this political level. Then now we have no rights. We are not a person. We are not an individual. We cannot rise higher than where we are right now because we stuck at that part.
Cake, I hear you on that, baby. I hear you, but this is why I'm okay with being called black and all of it.
Why? Because you can't be heard?
Hold on, Tony got his finger up. I think he's trying to say something.
Oh.
That's that Baptist church, the finger.
I wasn't looking at the screen.
Listen, because it sounds like y'all going to go into the topic of my next video. So let me just show this video real quick and we can continue the topic. Hold on.
Now, last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most. This week I thought it might be fun if we wrote an essay about the things that we disliked the most. Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something that you dislike?
Being a nigga.
I don't hear or see a video, Tony.
I didn't mean nothing bad. The teacher asked a question and I just answered it.
Why'd you say it?
'Cause it's the truth. If and I was white, my pa'd still be alive. Being a nigga killed my pa. You answer me something, sir.
If I can.
Would you like to live to be 100?
Sure, I would. It's not very likely, but I guess all of us like to live to a ripe old age.
Would you rather be black and live to be 100 or white and live to be 50?
Tony.
So the question was, what did he dislike about himself?
The video.
Huh?
Ain't nothing show.
The video didn't play well.
Okay, I'll play it again. I'm sorry.
But hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Come on, better cut it.
I mean, come on, I don't know where the hell you been at all your life, but that motherfucker ain't did shit. So stop big up in a motherfucker that passed bills that didn't benefit people in general, the overall America. Stop it.
Now, last week I had you write an essay about the things that you liked the most. This week I thought it might be fun if we wrote an essay about the things that we disliked the most. Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something that you dislike?
Being a nigga. I didn't mean nothing bad. The teacher asked a question and I just answered it.
Why'd you say it?
'Cause it's the truth. If and I was white, my pa'd still be alive. Being a nigga killed my pa. You answer me something, sir.
If I can.
Would you like to live to be 100?
Sure, I would. It's not very likely, but I guess all of us like to live to a ripe old age.
Would you rather be black and live to be 100 or white and live to be 50?
explain to you what happened in the video in case you still didn't see it or didn't hear it. Todd Bridges, as a little kid, he was a student on Little House on the Prairie, and of course, he was the only black student in the classroom, and he was isolated or whatever because he was the only one on his bench on his section, so none of the white kids were sitting near him. But the teacher had asked the classroom as a whole. She said, last week I had asked you all to think of something that you liked, but this week I want you to tell me something about yourself that you dislike. Well, Solomon, is there anything about you that you dislike? Solomon being Todd Bridges, and he said being a nigger, because being a nigger is what killed my pa. So I guess Michael Landon was the one who was taking care of him or supporting him, was asking him why did he ask such a thing. He said, "But it's the truth, because again, that's what killed his father." So he asked him. Todd Bridges asked Michael Landon, would he like to live to be 100? He said, "Of course I would. It's highly unlikely, but we all would like to live to be 100." So then he changed the question just a little bit and said, "How would you like to live to be 100 and be black, or would you like to live to be 50 and be white?" He couldn't answer the question, and he walked out of the room. So I pose that same question to everybody on the panel and to the viewers. Would you rather live to be 100 and be black, or would you like to live to be 50 and be white? Let's talk about it. Does the word nigga still offend everybody?
I'm going to go with being 100 because I like to be admired.
I know
that
might
sound a little crazy.
I'm gonna go with 100. I'm gonna go with 100, but if I'm gonna base that only depending on what era of being a black person is, because I wouldn't mind being 100 in the era that I am in now, where I have a little bit more rights and a little bit more freedom compared to when blacks were in the 50s and 60s and things of that nature.
So why
and
not
even
go
further,
to the 16th dynasty and be a king?
But that's not what we're talking about, so I can't say that.
We talking, but now you hypothetically speaking of eras, you could pick any era.
I
Pick an
didn't
era
speak.
and be a king.
I didn't speak of. I didn't speak of era. I went back years. I didn't speak of eras because throughout, if that's the case, like you say, I don't. We're basing it off of what we see today. Of course, I would love to go back and be Shaka Zulu, the great king, or Master Musa, the richest person that ever walked the earth. That was a black being. But being here in America, and that's all I know of at this moment, being here, I would rather be a black man and live to be 100 in this era right here, where I have a better chance of defending myself without having to be lynched. You know what I'm saying? I don't too much have worries of, walking outside and somebody out there with 5 Ku Klux Klansmen with shotguns and a burning cross. I don't have to worry about. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I don't have to worry about it at this moment. So definitely, but even being white, you can be 50 and white and still live in a poor era, and it be just as bad. So I'm definitely going. I love being black. Now there was a time in my life where I did. Growing up, I remember DCF had came into our homes one time, and I remember telling the DCF worker that if y'all feel like y'all need to take me from my mama, whatever you do, make sure you put me in a white family. And they asked me, okay, but why did you say that? I say, because white people get everything that they want, how they want it. So I know if you're taking me from my mama, you're not gonna put me in a house with a white family that's less fortunate than what I'm dealing with. So if you gotta move me, which I don't want you to move me, but if you do, make sure you move me into a white family.
And how old were you when you made that statement?
11.
So at 11, you was aware of things going on in society.
Yes.
Of
yeah, my 11-year-old's aware.
Yes. I mean, at this time, Tony, let's look at how prominent television was at this time. So the only great family that you could compare life to at that time was the Cosby.
True.
So when you look around and all the shows around you show you white people living great, these miraculous lives, and they got everything, they got money, they don't have to worry about, if the light's gonna get cut off, excuse me. At that time, when you don't understand the struggles that parents go through, you don't know about layoffs and you don't know about things of that nature because you don't see that too much talked about on television. My dream was to be able to live how the white folks live, because I didn't understand, nor did I see them going through poverty just the same as we did. So if you gonna already take me from my mama, you better make sure that when you give me somebody, they better be rich. And those were my words too, rich.
You say don't take me and put me somewhere that they ain't gonna be able to do for me.
Yeah, don't take me. I mean, if I'm gonna struggle, I'm gonna struggle with my mama.
When you said that, it reminded me of the movie Toy. You see, you want to be rich. I'll be the
To my Richard Pryor.
Yes.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, that scenario right there that Todd Bridges was in was a real life scenario for most people at that time.
Right.
A lot of things people didn't pay attention to that was real situations in Little House on the Prairie. And I'm looking at it right now because I remember that episode. And they had that boy living in the barn. So, we racism has definitely changed and shed its skin on multiple times throughout history. But it's still there. And it's gone from just black people to where it's now people in general, except for the 1%. If you're not a part of the 1%, you're subject to be handled wrong, whether you're white, black, blue, green, or yellow now. Because the division part of humanity is starting to wake up and understand that the game is being, and the wool is being pulled over our eyes about this racism stuff. And there are racist people out there, black and white. But at the same time, until we pull ourselves together as a human race, and like Juicy say, stop looking at color, that's when we can say we've arrived. But if we still classify ourselves in color schemes, like Cake say, and just say humans, then we're gonna stay divided. Shouldn't matter what shade I am or what or anything. It should just be, are you human? Because before you violate African American rights, before you violate my civil rights, my human, you have to first violate my human rights before you can violate any other right. And that's the race that should matter, me being a human.
You're so absolutely right. I just want to play the inspirational video that I played at the beginning of the show for those of you who have missed it. It is new to us. I just want to play it again, and then we can continue the conversation and go ahead and end the show.
If someone offends me or someone hurts me or does something to me, it rolls off my shoulders pretty easy. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, will you forgive me for what I did to you? I'm going to forgive them and say, girl, come on, let's move on. It's all right. I'm wired that way. I'm easygoing. But if I find out, I'm saying don't get it twisted. If I find out that someone's been scheming, that's a whole different story. Because scheming implies pre-planning. If you've been scheming against me, that means you've been watching for a little while. You've been trying to figure out what it is about me that is most weak, most frail, most vulnerable, so that you can take advantage of me. You've been studying me to find out what my patterns are and what the predilection of my flesh is and what my preferences are so that you can figure out the best time to take most full advantage of me and the people that I love. When I find out that you've been scheming against me and the people that I love, well, if it's a war you want, it's a war you're gonna have.
Amen.
So it just made me think about how I feel about my loved ones. I mean, you can shit happen, you can offend, but when you scheme, it's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
You've been thinking about something.
Yeah, because I mean, it's some things that I would have loved to do for Kate. In her situation, but too far right at this moment. But if that would have been close, some people would have got knocked on their door. Can't play
what
with
you
people.
Mean?
I can't say it on the television. I mean, on the podcast.
No, I missed. It would have been close.
We'll talk behind the stage.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I got something to say because we only have about 10 minutes, 12 minutes left before we go off. But I just wanted to say, and this is y'all gonna find this funny. You hear me, Kate?
I hear you.
Juicy Kate. Okay.
I hear you.
Hear me. This is y'all gonna hear this kind of funny. While we're having the show, I hear a little buzzing noise just started like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I kind of looked to see what the noise was. And my first mind was the only thing new around my surrounding is I now have a mini refrigerator in the room. So I thought maybe the refrigerator was now making a noise, which is one thought. But then the second thought was, our backstage producer, our manager, Miss Jeanette, is in the back. So I thought
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I thought she was back there with the rose taking care of business. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, she's just getting it. She must not think I could hear that.
I knew you were gonna say that.
So I muted myself and I took me off the camera so y'all couldn't see me. I did this, and I muted my voice. I looked over and I said, "Well, girl, you just getting it. That's you." She said, "What?" I said, "That's the rose." Then that's when I said, "Well, maybe it's the refrigerator." So we went and checked the next building over. Somebody pulled the fire alarm, the little thing in the hallway.
Yeah.
That buzzing noise.
Yeah.
It's low and faint here. It's probably loud in that building, but because I'm so far away, it's so low and faint. It sounds like the refrigerator is vibrating or she was vibrating.
Well, listen, we gonna get ready to get up out of here. You always that.
Yes, like of all things to think of to go there. Like
and Tony, so now you're taking my place of being the nasty one.
Just tonight.
Just
tonight.
Listen.
You need to put that lady face up.
Kamal say the rich will make sure the race war is in full effect at all times to keep us distracted from the real issues. For once, bro, I totally agree with you. But only for tonight.
For once.
Yeah, only for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Let me tell you something. I really appreciated Ms. Hall, Mr. Carl, and definitely DeAndre. You brought some
Carl, love you.
Some crazy thoughts out tonight. I need you to sit your ass in a corner and reflect on the answers that we gave you, Mr. Brown.
Nah,
I've enjoyed the
he need to go on and
conversation.
give out a whole dissertation on how to throw that D, throw that D.
The dude in the green dress is pretty aggressive. What dude in the green dress? Ain't nobody.
He called you a leprechaun. You totally missed that one.
Oh,
Oh, goodness, give me my pot of gold.
that was that. Listen, let me tell y'all. Come on, yeah, I'm finna call you in a few minutes because you ain't shit. But I love you. But listen, y'all. I enjoyed everybody's comments tonight. I wish Kamal could have been in a little bit earlier and commented, but DeAndre, you held it down. Um, don't always be so anxious to skeet all the time with anybody, bro. But if she was that anxious to fuck, she probably was that anxious to give you a disease. But we want to go. We want to definitely come up. We want to give a shout out to DP. We want to give a shout out to Tayama for coming on tonight. I know she probably was dealing with my nephew, Jose, for saying something in the beginning of the show. You know, we appreciate all you guys. We're nothing without you guys. Wouldn't want to do it without you guys. We're gonna go ahead and bring out the juiciest cakes in the business. Let them know.
Well, you can find me here every Tuesday and Friday around 9 o'clock ish on the ATL show. You can check me out on Facebook. Yes, Nicole Purse, but for that information I was talking about, it's Enliven, ENLIVEN, Your Way to Wellness. Hit me up on Instagram. I am Miss Juicy Cakes. No, Miss Beautiful. And on TikTok, I'm Miss Juicy Cakes. And for all your homeopathic and wellness needs, you can hit me up for a free consultation at enliventoyou.com. That's all.
All right. We definitely appreciate having this one on the show, but we've been to bring out the individual that makes it possible for us to be out here in these ATL streets, in this ATL world, painting my ass, my gardener, on a lot of different issues, my teacher. But before all of that, my brother, AB, let them know.
What's up? I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown. I can be found on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and TikTok under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. You can also follow my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page called Anthony the Writer. Please follow that page. The page is growing. That's a special community. And I appreciate you all for joining me over there. Ms. Deborah says only one person put up Cash App. So that is where I sit my coins. See y'all next week. Thank you, Ms. Deborah. We appreciate every little bit you give.
Yes, we do. We surely do, Miss Hall.
You can also text me any show ideas, comments, concerns, thoughts, visions, negatives, pluses, whatever you want to say. You can text me or call me, 561-768-3710. That's my personal cell phone. It's right here, so you can send anytime. You can also email me at theanthonybrownshow@gmail.com. And words that I live by, and so should you, and that's you got to grind until you shine.
All right, y'all. Appreciate Kate, Tayama, Donovan, DP, and everybody that participated. Y'all know who I am. I'm Legacy the Great. You can reach out to me on Facebook up under Dream Williams, YouTube Legacy the Great. My email is legacyunlocked@mail.com. For advertisement, you need anything pertaining to legal services, I'm a non-legal consultant, and I also unlock if you get your keys and things locked up in your car. Right now, it's in the West Palm Beach area on weekends, and in the Lee County area through the week. You can hit me up at 229-630-7615. Also, 561-907-9129. We greatly appreciate you guys for again making the ATL show as great as it is and as great as it has become. and we're looking forward to educating you guys. If you guys educate us week in and week out, we appreciate you guys. And also, I want to say this before we get out of here. Men, if a female wants to fly you out or roll you in, make sure you talk about throw that dick before you roll. ATL, ho.